if you are the elected MP, how would you address issues of systemic racism in our IT?
You start by acknowledging that it exists. And you start by facing it head on. And acknowledging that it exists in every facet and every corner of our country. I sat in Ottawa across from, to be blunt, a party that voted against a motion acknowledging Islamophobia. I mean, the Conservative Party voted that motion down. That's not leadership. That's not how you tackle systemic racism. The Conservative platform doesn't mention racism or systemic racism in it at all. And you stamp out systemic racism by leading by example, by calling it out, acknowledging it exists, and standing up every time we see it happen. Thank you.
My experience of Canada has been one of inclusiveness. I am clearly not a white guy. I'm a brown guy. I came from Guyana, the Caribbean. I belong to the Hare Krishna community. I've had every opportunity to be successful in Canada. My family's come here, we've been welcome. I've lived in Calgary, I've lived in Toronto, I went in high school to Toronto, and I now live in St. John. And this community has welcomed me. I have not experienced racism. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, please understand. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be acknowledged or fought, but saying that it exists systematically, I personally have not experienced that. What have I experienced is when I make good choices, when I make good decisions, I take personal responsibility in my life, then I get opportunities. I have never been kept from an opportunity because of my race or my religion. In fact, I've partied with people all across this country and been welcomed everywhere I've gone, and I'll continue to do that. And I truly believe Canada is an inclusive nation. And too much rhetoric about systemic racism or racial or identity politics pins us against each other unnecessarily.
I'd like to just pick up on something that Don mentioned a few minutes ago. I think he made an important point. He talked about entry to Canada. And it is at that point that, as your member of parliament, if I'm fortunate enough to serve you in that capacity, that your member of parliament has a real opportunity to address some of these real serious challenges. And these are serious challenges around systemic racism that we all have a role to play in addressing and combating and dealing with every day in our daily lives. But as your member of parliament, one of the primary functions is to serve as a legislator and to put in place good policy and good laws that can combat this. And there are three things that, if we're elected, we intend to do, and it relates directly to modernizing and enhancing the fairness of our immigration system. We are first going to move all of our technological infrastructure online, and we are going to record all interactions between immigrants and the officers that they're dealing with to ensure oversight, fairness, and accountability for the benefit of those immigrants. We are going to increase cultural awareness training and use remote meeting technology to match immigrant applicants to immigration officers who best understand their cultural context, the cultural context of that specific applicant. And in addition, because we know that applicants come from many different cultures and backgrounds, part of my work in my daily professional life is as an immigration lawyer, we are going to let applicants correct simple mistakes on applications within a set period of time instead of simply rejecting applications.